Now originally,
for my project,
I
decided
decided
to
to
focus
focus
on one individual
that showed
an individual
the different features
who's trying to
that
find
each
a
program
job.
offered.
Her name,
But then as I
Anita
reflected on
job.
it and got some feedback
And
from
what I thought about doing
some viewers,
was introducing
I realized
Anita
that I wasn't
to some
giving
various
folks
web
enough
2.0
information.
tools that are
So I
available
decided to create
her.
instructional tutorials
I wanted to introduce
on
her
each of
these
the programs
to help her increase her exposure.
And in my present overview, I
If you
talked
look
about
at
the
the
main
screen,
feature of
you'll see a photo
LinkedIn
of Anita
being
just a random JPEG that I downloaded from the internet.
in my
As
overview,
well
I talked
as a
about
resume
the main
that I
feature of
created
LinkedIn
that
being
I
the ability
modeled
to
something
create
off
a
of
network,
Curious
and then using that network
by working
to
in a
advise
library,
folks
in a
of
fire department,
your interest
or
in
a
a job.
zoo. I also had her graduate college.
What I did while I was working on this is
And
I
then what I
created
did
a
is I took her through
profile
the
for Anita,
steps
but she didn't have any
of
but in her
creating a
network
profile
besides
on
me.
LinkedIn.
So that I went out to my own
Weebly,
personal network
and Review.
and I asked
And through some of my
individuals
research,
to
these programs
connect
were
with Anita,
best
just profile at increasing your
would get
online
increased.
presence and online portfolio. Now my original idea
And during
was
the
to
course
create
of
a
the program,
presentation where I would highlight the different
and during the
features
process
that each of the programs
Anita's offered.
network grew. The problem that I encountered, there wasn't enough visual appeal in that approach. So I considered doing brief tutorials on each of the programs to further explain how they worked. One of the features I mentioned that was most beneficial to LinkedIn was the network. And what I realized is that I had a really hard time getting a network for an imaginary person. So what I ended up doing was I created her a profile, and then I asked people in my own family, in my own network, to connect with Anita, so that during my presentation I could show how Anita's profile would grow, increasing her exposure in the job market. So when I asked my friends and family to add Anita to their network, I told them they could be a little creative in what skills they endorsed for her. And it turned out to be a little funny in that Anita is now endorsed in bookkeeping, beekeeping, and square dancing, as well as customer service and CPR, which was what I originally had on there. So everybody kind of helped build her network. So after creating the LinkedIn profile, I took Anita through the other steps on how to create a profile in Review and then in Weebly. And I liked these programs because you can import data from LinkedIn into Review, and you can link all of them back and forth to each other. And on the screen now is I have Anita's profile, and it has her personal website. If we were to click on personal website, but Review had a certain visual appeal, which I think goes a long way in talking about the whole person, which is what some companies are looking for now, is not just somebody who sits in a cubicle, but somebody who's going to be active and part of their community at the workplace. So I was able to create a well-rounded individual in Anita by using her Review site. And if you look, there's a link here linking us back to LinkedIn, and there's also a link taking us to the final website I discussed, Weebly. So if we click on the Weebly link, we go to Anita's career portfolio. And again, I had trouble here in that I didn't have any work samples or volunteer work. So I just kind of went on the internet and Creative Commons and just found some pictures just to demonstrate how I could do this. And so what I did is I created some various tabs for Anita, and then just imported some pictures of her volunteer work and her internship. So now Anita has a very well-rounded online presence now that she's created profiles on LinkedIn, Review, and Portfolio.